Well, my pastor told me if I didn't study the Word, I'd be biblically ignorant. That's nice. That's nice. But how about the biblical reason? So that you could be part of the substance Yahweh uses to build a house and to forbid and get rid of all the metzalim or the pillars or the mitzavot in Israel. The more people he takes and turns into living, lively stones, the less pillars are going to be in Israel to be built. And then the only ones that are left building pillars are the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Jebusites and the Hittites.
Come on.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Does this make sense? But I'm not done. Yaakov was a Navi. Yaakov was a prophet. He knew the plan. He did not enter the plan because Mashiach, the chief cornerstone, had not come. But Yaakov knew the plan. It's funny, he knew the plan. He knew the plan was to one day take his measly little mitzvah and not make Jacob important where Yahweh would allow him to build his own mitzvah, but to take Yaakov and turn him into a living stone so that his stone with Roberto's stone and Moshe's stone and your stone, we would together build the same house, the same edifice, because we're all drinking of the milk of the Word and we're all the same substance. Jacob, Yaakov knew it. Really? I didn't see that. I understand. That's why you have a teacher. Go with me please to Bereshit. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I said Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Bereshit 35. Bereshit 35. Again, this message, the pillar and the house.
35 what verse?
Bereshit 35.
What verse?
And one second. Bereshit 35. Let's read it in context. Let's go back to 11. Bereshit 35:11. Elohim said to Yaakov. Now don't miss this now. This is the best part of the whole thing. Okay? We're winding it down. We're bringing it in for landing. But don't miss this. I said all that to say Yaakov knew the plan and he was willing to be a stone rather than the constructor of an altar outside the community. Being Israel is all about the community. It's not about hearing voices, a personal relationship with the Lord. Not impressed, don't want to hear it. I want to know one thing before you tell me what the Lord tells. Are you following Torah? Are you following eternal ordinances? They're not Jewish feasts. They're not Jewish Sabbaths. They're Yahweh's eternal Sabbaths. They're Yahweh's feasts. And when you start doing Torah, then I want to know what the Lord told you, but not a day before that. Let's continue. Let's continue. Bereshit 35 verse 10. And Elohim said to him, your name is Yaakov. But your name shall no longer be called anymore Yaakov, but Yisrael shall be your name. Why? Here's the plan. The plan is not to take Yaakov and have Yaakov build what? Mitzvah or mitzvot. The plan is to take Yaakov and make him no more important than Edna, no more important than Abraham, no more important than anybody, because we'll all be living stones, we're all drinking and desiring the milk of the Word as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the Word, that we would grow, not just grow fat for our own ministry and our own self, but so that we could be used to build a spiritual bayit that is acceptable to Yahweh. Now watch this. And Elohim said to me, your name is not Yaakov, it's Israel, man. It's not about Yaakov, it's about Israel. Are you getting this? It's not about being Yaakov, it's about being Israel. Well, I'll have you to know, brother, you have to obey my authority. Why? What have I done? I am a Levite, I am a Kohen, I am a 5th generation Kohen, and I live in Pennsylvania on a big mountain, and I am the 4th generation of the 5th time of the 33rd degree Leviim, and I thus saith the Kohen. Fool, blind guide.
Come on, Rabbi. Teach.
Yahweh's not impressed with your pedigree. Watch this. but Yisrael shall be your name. That's where it's happening, Yaakov. And Yahweh called his name Israel. And Elohim said to I am El Shaddai, Pru Urvu, be fruitful and multiply. A nation, Goy, that's Jewish Israel, and a congregation of nations, that's the so-called church, or the Kehillah of the nations. There's your two houses right there in Genesis 35:10, right there. A nation and a company of nations, that's Jewish Israel and non-Jewish Israel, shall come out from your loins, and Melachim shall come from you. Verse 12, and the land that I gave Abraham and Yitzchak I give to you, and to your Zerah after you, I will give the land. We close. But I'm not going to close till I hit this home. I'm not going to close till I hit a home run.
Hallelujah.
And you're going to help me hit that home run.
Hallelujah.
Verse 13. And Elohim went up from him in the place where he talked with him. Circle those words. Elohim left him in the place. What place? Let's find out. Where Yahweh had spoken to him. Circle those words. Where did Yahweh talk to Yaakov? In the place. Bethel. Where did Yahweh talk to Yaakov? Bethel. In the place. What place? Bethel. Good. Where did he realize that it wasn't about himself, it was about the community that Yahweh would birth through Israel, and the kings that would come from his loins, and the families of the earth that would come from his loins, and the nations of the earth that would come through his loins. Where did he get the message? Where did he hear the voice of Yahweh?
Bethel.
And Yaakov set up a pillar. What's a pillar? Mitzvah. The same pillar we are not allowed to build anymore, because Yeshua has set it up for us and called it a house. 1 Timothy 3:15. Yaakov set up a pillar in the same place where he spoke with Yahweh. Even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. It was a messianic stone. And Yaakov called the name of the place where Elohim spoke with him, Beth El. Yahweh spoke to him in the house. The reason Yahweh changed his name from Jacob to Israel, he's saying, on this spot, Israel will worship me. That spot is Bethel, which would later be what? The house of El. The mountain which would house the Beit HaMikdash, where all the nations would flow, and they would flow to hear Torah. And Yaakov said, it's going to happen in this place as Israel. And so you will hear my voice, Yaakov, but from now on, you'll hear it in the house. This is the last altar that I will allow Israel to build. Pardon me, the last pillar. This is the last pillar that I will allow Israel to build. I allowed you to build this pillar because in your mind and in your heart, you are still Yaakov, the heel catcher. But I will make you Israel, an overcomer with Israel, because in this place, on Mount Moriah, will be the house of Yahweh, and Yahweh will live, and the priests will minister, and we will do the business of Yahweh. And the remez is that Yahweh's voice and Yahweh's people all become Israel where? In Bethel. Wasn't he returning from Padan Aram and came into the land of Canaan? You know where Bethel is? It is the gate of heaven. And if you read Genesis 28, he goes, whoa, whoa, I wrestled with a man. And I wrestled with the man who would be the pillar that Yahweh planted. And then he would turn the house that believed in him into the pillar and foundation of Torah truth. And he called the name of the place Bethel, meaning what? The house of El. Meaning it's no longer about Jacob doing his own thing. It's about Israel doing Yahweh's thing. All in the house, all being living stones, build up a spiritual house to Yahweh so that they can hear the voice of Yahweh. P.S. It's not as personal a relationship as the church told you it was. Because you can hear all the personal rhema words from Yahweh you want. If they're not Torah backed, if there's not corporate concern that Yahweh wants to heal all Israel. When Israel left Mitzrayim, there was not one feeble, sick among Israel. It's not about personal healing. It's not about personal salvation. It's not about bless me and the bless me club. It is because you are personally saved that now you know where you are learning how to conduct yourself and how to learn to be like Timteus, a living stone built up in the pillar, which is now the house of Yahweh. So the pillar is no longer an option for Israel because Yahweh built the house, which is the pillar, and inside the house is the altar, and inside Bethel, or the house of El, is where you'll become Israel and where you'll hear his blessed voice. Father, we thank you. The pillar and the house. Father, we thank you for the pillar and the house, which is now one and the same. Father, now we understand today's Torah Parsha, how you forbid Israel from building pillars. And yet you allowed Yaakov to build it because his name was Yaakov. He was still the heel catcher. He was still the person who was unregenerate in heart and mind. But Father, we know that when you named him Israel, you did it in the house of Elohim, showing him that he would be built up and he would know you and hear your voice, not outside, but inside the house of El, Bethel. And that you would show Yaakov, Israel, that that place was the actual gate of heaven. And as you said it today in Matthew 16, Kifa, upon this rock, the pillar of your confession, I will rebuild my Kehillah, and the gates of Hades cannot enter. Will not come against it. Cannot come against it. And Father, we saw today in Yeshayahu 56 how you would take all the nations and bring them to the house. For it is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, a bet tefillah for all nations. And so, Father, we thank you for the lessons that even Yaakov understood, that from that point on, from that time on, when he became Yisrael, that things would change. That he would be the last Israelite to build a pillar for you. That from then on, you would take the community and make it the pillar. And Father, today, you have given us that same understanding. And to you we give all the honor, all the glory, and all the thanksgiving for the spirit of revelation that has come upon your people, Israel. B'kol ha'kehillah, b'kol echad, b'lev echad, imru, amen, ve'amen. One last thing.
Praise Yahweh, all nations, praise Yahweh. Yahweh, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who comes, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. The stone the builders have rejected has become the chief cornerstone, has become the chief cornerstone. And this is from Yahweh. It is marvelous in our eyes. It is marvelous in our eyes. Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who comes, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. Blessed is he who comes, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. Hallelujah. Praise praise Yahweh. All nations praise Yahweh. Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh.